Tonight, KFDM uncovering disturbing information that Jefferson County is letting much-needed flood relief float away.
Specifically, a flood mitigation grant from FEMA, $210 million available nationwide. KFDM's Angel San Juan joins us tonight in the studio to tell us how Jefferson County lost out on all this funding and how that negligence is hurting flood victims. Angel?
Jefferson County leaders tell us they missed the deadline because they did not know about the grant. But our investigation reveals that's not true. There's evidence that at least one high-ranking county official knew, which is disappointing to families left adrift in the recovery process. Patrick Ratcliffe is a U.S. Air Force veteran. He and his wife Lauren are raising their two children in this house on Windsor Road in Cheek, a home that flooded twice, first in Harvey, then Imelda. Now they're facing a man-made crisis.
They dropped the ball right then, I guess. So, and we're still stuck here waiting for a solution.
We introduced you to the Ratcliffes last month. Patrick had contacted us seeking help when it appeared Jefferson County government had turned its back on the family.
Welcome to my crib.
The four Ratcliffes have been living in their garage, their home gutted since Imelda. They're insured, but know the house needs to be elevated. That's expensive, so Patrick and Lauren began their research and discovered the Flood Mitigation Assistance Grant, FEMA dollars administered through the Texas Water Development Board.
It looks like we would have qualified. Just looking at the data that they, prereqs for that program, we were just right in there.
According to the board, individual citizens cannot directly apply for the grant. The county must do it on their behalf.
It gives you specific instructions on who to contact. And it told me to contact the engineering department, Jefferson County. That's what we did. We patiently waited for 4 months. We're still here waiting.
He specifically emailed Steve Stafford, the interim county engineer and floodplain manager.
The county was going to seek this grant program. It was clear. This was a good path. Talking with the engineering department, talking back and forth, they liked the program. They liked what they did and what the program stood for, and that was the feeling I got from the conversations.
It appeared to be a win-win for everyone.
This program helps them because if they raise my house up, it's statistically we're not going to flood again, and we're not going to have any more damage. We're not going to have a bill to send to FEMA, right? So it helps them, it helps us.
Stafford agreed.
My focus is to elevate homes. I'd prefer that over buyouts or other things because it leaves a hole in the neighborhood. I think if we can elevate home, keep people on their same property, it's a win-win.
But more than 3 months would pass and Patrick heard nothing from the county. His calls and emails went unanswered. You can almost sense Patrick's panic in this email he sent Stafford January 22nd, 9 days before the grant application deadline. Patrick writes, "Steve, I've been calling your office. No one is returning my calls, obviously ignoring me."
Why aren't they calling me? I'm kind of getting scared. Why are they communicating back with me? Something go wrong? Did FEMA already say no?
Turns out FEMA never got the chance. Jefferson County did not apply. We called the Water Development Board. A spokeswoman told us the county reached out to the state agency 2 weeks before the submission deadline, but she says there was not enough time to develop a complete application.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, how to respond to that.
Remember, Patrick had been under the impression that Jefferson County had been pursuing the grant since he notified Stafford in October. So how did this happen? We contacted the Ratcliffe's commissioner, Bo Alfred, who questioned County Judge Jeff Brannick.
Judge, do you want to kind of give us any information on it?
Judge Brannick's response?
All the grant administrators that do work nationally, none of them knew anything about this pot of money.
Yet Patrick knew, and remember, he shared the information with Stafford, but Stafford denied knowing about it in Commissioner's Court.
We were just not aware of that was available.
We showed the video of that meeting to Patrick.
But they're definitely lying about it, so. No, the whole thing's discouraging.
But Stafford's own words support Patrick's claim. An email Stafford sent Patrick seems to show the engineer was aware of the program. Stafford writes, "I'm sure the commissioners will be looking into the buyout program and the flood mitigation elevation program as the money becomes available from FEMA. It isn't a fast process. I'm starting a list of property owners that are interested in buyout or elevation. Based on that email, do you think you can understand Mr. Ratcliffe thinking that y'all were aware of it?
Yes, I understand what he's going through. I mean, I don't understand what he's going through. He's going through a lot more than I've ever been through, and I'm definitely sorry about that.
Jason Champagne and his wife Brandy are in the same predicament as the Ratcliffes. The couple and their 2 daughters living in a one-room trailer home after their house in Finette flooded.
We're dealing with the second flood in 4 years and a 4-year-old house and haven't got anywhere with anyone.
They could have also benefited from the elevation grant. The Champagnes have insurance, but the cost to elevate is more than $200,000, and there's no question they must raise their house.
The home never should have been built or allowed to be built.
The couple bought it 90% complete, not knowing that the same county engineering office you've already heard so much about approved the house's construction sight unseen.
They say that they're allowed to permit builds off of paperwork and not actually have specialists come analyze the jobs and ensure they're at the proper elevation.
Turns out it was 3 feet off proper elevation. That only discovered during the building of the neighbor's house.
Our county entities, they're not wanting to own up to it, and it's just been pointing fingers, going in circles.
Stafford told us, and county leaders agree, that the remedy lies in hiring a grant administrator.
Somebody who knows the ins and outs of this program. I could learn the ins and outs, but it would take me time, and I don't want to make a mistake. I'd rather get somebody who's a professional at that and can, give us the best option to be successful in getting this money.
And while the Ratcliffes and the Champagnes are frustrated, they're not ready to lose faith.
We want to move forward in a positive direction instead of stagnant and homeless.
During the course of our investigation, we learned that neighboring Orange County was quite aware about the elevation grant and applied for it on behalf of its constituents. The Texas Water Development Board tells us that after Jefferson County missed the grant deadline in January, Stafford reached out to the state agency about the next grant cycle, requesting to be added to the notification list, but that might be too little too late for the Ratcliffe and Champagne families. We'll keep you updated. Greg?